Hey, everybody, welcome to another Kristen and Charlie chat. I'm already laughing because if you cannot access it visually, you might be lucky because Charlie's face as he waits for me to say that we're live, it's like we don't want to say anything that we shouldn't be saying or do anything weird. So he's just frozen
And
with a
I'm really not.
smile. Oh, but let's dive in here today because today we're talking about time management and we don't want to waste anybody's time. We want to dive right in. We are going to, as we're doing on Tuesdays here, we are recapping our Monday mentorship call from Thriving Blind Academy, where our yearly members come in every Monday at noon Eastern. We have folks from around the globe that come into that call. So that's always fun trying to figure out what time it is at different places. But we come in every Monday and chat about the success principle of the week and then how that relates to where we're at on our journey with blindness, vision loss, raising children, being an empty nester. We started out with blindness and vision loss, and now we have just kind of it because it goes across. These success principles go through all facets of life in celebration and in challenges. So we tend to have very lively, in depth conversations. And this week, we were talking about time management and calendar management. And I thought it was pretty brilliant of us to put this topic on at this time of year where people are suddenly starting to say, the end of the year is coming and I had all of these goals and now what happens? So let's dive in a little, Charlie, to this whole time management, calendar management, and how that's an element to be successful.
Sure thing. And it's wonderful to have a connection today. For now, I don't know what the future time of internet's going to do with me today, but hey, I prepared. Um, and I like how yesterday it went from chunking down, looking at a calendar, blocking out, sticking to it, to like how to I want to improve my health or my wealth or my relationships, and how time is a part of everything. How we then, well, what does it look like? We'll begin with that end in mind. And it was so cool how how it morphed into, and then it came back to yesterday in our call. Because it's like, well, if I want to, be able to run a 5K, and I just use this as an example because there's a thousands of things you can do. We can either grow or not grow. Oh, I have sun on me. It's coming through the window. And anyway, and then you kind of say, this is the date of when I want to do it. And then I bring it back to, okay, on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays from this time. And then we and people, just you see heads bobbing, like it's possible. I don't get overwhelmed thinking, oh my god, how am I ever gonna put that all together in this time frame? And it's like, but when I chunk it down and I lay it out and I realize I have 168 hours in a week, I realize I'm choosing to do this race, to do this change in my life, to put more time into whatever, so I can grow, so I can make more money, so I can do something. I realize I'm the one coming up with that. So now I know I can come step it all the way back till the moment I made the decision and wrote it all out and throw it on a calendar, right?
Yeah. Yeah. You know what I was thinking about this after we were talking, especially after Clark yesterday was talking about all of the different galleries he's going to now as this successful blind artist over in the UK, and how we've talked about the bandwidth of traveling and you have to, as a person with vision loss, build in extra time on the calendar, that you have to when you're going out to someplace in case an Uber decides to cancel on you or the train is late and all of the things. And Clark was saying how he realized he had to start building in that extra time for public transportation so that he could get to the events and be 100% him and have the grand old time that he's having with making such an impact. And I thought of this also last night. I thought, I don't know why I am so into catchy titles. I think that just makes me entertained and then I can remember things. But when I started about a year ago with really doing the same thing as Clark, building in, it was when we went from virtual back to real life. I was putting meetings too close together because I was so used to just flipping into a new Zoom room that I realized I was rushing, racing to meetings, and I was going into them stressful, not successful. How about that? And then I was like, okay, wait a second. I cannot manage my life this way. We're going to have to build in way more time, which was tricky for me to say, okay, let me see how long it's going to take. Let me build in some extra stuff. Cause no, I'm not on public transportation. I can drive my Jeep myself, but there's still those people that don't know how to drive like I do, and they get in my way when I'm going to meetings. But I always, when I'm booking stuff and looking at my calendar, I think about, do I want my day to be stressful or successful? And I say no to things or yes to things, depending on what's already on that calendar. And boy, as I was talking yesterday, and I've been saying so much about this, holding to my keeping my schedule on the calendar on Wednesdays solely for me to work through projects and have my creative space has been a challenge, but boy, has that made things so successful and not stressful for me.
I mean, I've been fortunate not to be an employee, and I don't mean it in any way, but where I have been in charge of my time, my calendar, and what I do. And that is a blessing and a curse. Because when I had my retail business, it was open 9 to 5, but I didn't go in at 9. I went in early. I stayed late. I left early. I kind of did my thing. But you're at the part when customers come in, doesn't matter what's on your calendar. Doesn't matter if I'm just about to take my first bite of lunch. It's done. You serve the people that come in the door. So you got to have that. I shouldn't say you. I had to have that flexibility. My team had to have that flexibility. Just know. And that things are going to change. Problems are going to happen. Flat tires are going to, people are going to cut you off. I mean, your time is going to get interrupted. But at the end of the day, we are in charge of who we are during that time, how we take responsibility, how we respond to the events going on in our life. So you want to improve your time and have time not feel like it's staying still or going too fast. That's our responsibility. And when I took that, realized that I get to dictate my morning, how, when I get up, what type of exercise, meditation, whatever it is for me that helps ground me for the day. Look at my calendar, see what's upcoming. Go, oh, I'm so excited. It's not like, oh God, oh geez, we have that. Because I'm in charge. I don't put those on my calendar. If that's the type of work I'm doing, I better change. If I'm looking at it like I knew 10:30 was coming. And Chris and I are doing what we do at 10:30. We do a little recap. We get ready. We hit live. Then we do some more work. I don't go, oh, God, we have that 10:30 meeting. I look forward to it. What a blessing. And the curse side of it is I'm in charge of my calendar. And I'm the boss of that. And I could put something on there and think, I am so gung-ho on Tuesday to do this on Thursday. And Thursday comes and I go, I'm not so gung-ho anymore. Whoops, let's move that. So, it's all about fulfillment. And is it aligned in my values and my beliefs and my big why? Is it something that's under the umbrella of the Thriving Blind Academy, a company that is going to make this massive change and impact in the minds, not so much the corporations, not so much you need to understand blind people. No, it's them saying, this is who I am, and this is how I can step into the world and be successful.
I let's talk about this for a second. It just dawned on me that we actually put this into practice as a business, as an organization in our team meeting, last week or 2 weeks ago. All this stuff blends in to me, but we had on the calendar when we were planning the calendar a couple months ago, back in July, but we take a hiatus for a couple weeks in July to plan our new year as we kick off in September. And we were going to do the monthly, master classes, and we had the interview one that is so powerful. Oh my gosh, is this thing so powerful? It was scheduled for November. And then we started looking at the manpower, all the things that we have going on, and where our priorities are right now. And had to look at calendar management and time management and move the interview
Yep.
masterclass because of the Succeed Without Sight Summit and where we can serve the most people in the time that we have, and had to bump that. I don't know about you, Charlie. That was a hard decision for me. But then once we made that decision, I felt like my creativity was back. The stress was removed. And then we started diving all into the messaging for the summit and the schedule and who's coming into that. So the point of that is sometimes you do have to say no, or not yet, move it to a different time. And I love that we did that early enough in October to know that we're not jamming anything else into January, because that's going to be dedicated to that interview masterclass. And we get to focus on service with a smile and success
Yeah.
for the summit. That was a lot of S's from a Smedley.
That was
See
silly.
what I did there?
You snuck in another one. Okay. Of course.
Of course. Of course.
Something we have a lot of fun doing and coming back on and giggling. And that comes from managing time. See, I can't manage time, right? Obviously, it's ticking right now. I can manage me. I can manage my attitude. I can manage my preparedness for a meeting, for a presentation, for a talk with my family, a sit down with my wife. I can prepare for better time. And I don't like taking time of people, like just nonsensically. So, and you said it earlier, Kristen, it's like I used to too run around. I wanted to achieve a lot. I put a lot on me, and I was burning out at times and wondering what's going on here. You know, why am I having a little attitude? Why am I getting mad at people? You know, what's going on? Well, I needed to slow down. I needed to say, if it's an hour long meeting, no, it's a 90-minute long meeting, because I need 15 minutes, sometimes 30. And I've already done preparation work, but I need to sit in a space of visualization and just quiet time before the camera goes on, before I step up on a stage. Why? Because I deliver. I work better for the people that are coming, because that's our goal. You and I aren't in this business to look good, sound good, and have everyone say how great we are. Well, I don't believe we are. I'm in it because I want to make an impact, and I want to reach people. And I don't think running around and burning the candle at both ends and trying to get it all done yesterday is going to achieve that goal. Slow it down, really invest your thinking into the time, into self, and then putting it into a plan of action.
This is one of the things that I mentioned yesterday that I realized when, in all of my dealings with people asking them to come on for interviews or speak at the summit or pop into a master class, as we talk with all these different professionals that are very successful in the world, there's several things that they have in common. One of which that is timely to this topic is I always get asked by the most successful people, what is the time commitment when I've asked them to do something? Let me look at my calendar and see if I can give you the time that it deserves. Let's talk soon about after I look through everything. Like, it is very much one of the top 3 things that every conversation with a very successful person, it comes up is, what is the time commitment? Let me look at my calendar. Let me make sure that I can manage this and serve you at the highest level. It is such an element of success that I did not realize, I guess, until I really started putting it into practice myself. And my radar is out there realizing that other successful people do that. And I have so much respect for folks that tell me that up front now. Even if it's a no, I don't think I'm going to have the time to make that commitment. Maybe next time, or talk to me sooner so I can put you on my calendar so that I have the time to give to you. How cool is that?
It's great. It's because you've done you had your ask was in a respectful way where, hey man, do you know what I mean? It's like you understand that. So when I talk to people, first of all, does it align? Is it something? Is it Does it align with their why, their values? And then so you check that box. Now they're starting to think about, oh boy, what's the time commitment of this one? And then you even could say, so the time commitment. And some people are like, we're bringing the conversation. We're answering the questions that are already in their head. So anyway, and that's when you know you have the right person. So who somebody just goes, yes. But you didn't even ask me what the time commitment is. You didn't ask me what the role is. You didn't ask me what commitment I'm asking from you. You just said yes. Probably not the right person for us. But somebody that says, okay, what's the time commitment? What type of thing? What other types of things are we going to be doing on this? And they kind of ask a lot of questions, and I love that. It's like, no, because we're clear, they want to be clear because they don't have time to figure it out when we're meeting and waste time.
So let's give a little practical takeaway for folks. I mean, I don't know about you, Charlie, but I have a book every morning that I do a morning reading from as part of my morning routine. And as I like now it's in October, and it ends in at the end of December, and then I start the book all over again. And the pages, there's so few pages left that I'm like, oh, what are all my goals? Let me rethink some of this stuff. But I would say, I know for me, I actually now look at October, November, December. And I've got my to-do list up on the wall of all the projects that I wanted to have underway or closed. Some of them it's like, let's tie up those loose ends. I did realize last year, I did make a commitment to myself that I was going to start tying up the loose ends earlier than December 14th, because I'm not going into the holidays stressed out this year. So I started looking at what do I need to, as we moved that one masterclass. What do I need to move into first quarter 24? What is not even necessary for me to do at
Right.
this point because there
Yep.
was too many things that were just time sucks that I didn't need to be doing? And where are my priorities and how can I start mapping out the rest of the weeks? Do you do that at this point in the year too?
Yeah. Yes. I start looking at if I want what I have now, then just continue on. And I don't mean what I have, who I am, my being, all of that stuff. So if I'm fully content and I love where I am right now, then maybe continue. But if I'd like to make some changes and change some things up and all, I get to see it because I have something to look back on. And I can say, and I know how to do this. I've been doing it for years. And like you said, I have a morning ritual that I get, time is critical. And I know it's getting out of bed, it's doing what you do to best set yourself up for success, for fulfillment for that day. And then it's maybe a little bit of a midday check review. Am I on? Am I doing, and then it could be a nightly review. And I'm not, people are, oh my God, all I'm going to be doing is like, no, I mean, hey, I constructively review my day. Was I on? Or did I go off course all day? Or did I blow off things? Or, I mean, no, I fall through. Okay, good. Do more of that. It seems to work. I feel real good. I'm going to bed with a good, clean slate of, and then in the morning I pop, and oh my gosh, what a difference compared to what it was in 2004 and 5 when I was scratching my head wondering why everybody was irritating me. They weren't. I wasn't clear. I didn't manage my time well. I was a fireman. I just put out fires all day and somebody needed to throw the water on me.
I was just thinking about what our thumbnail could be for this on YouTube, and you could have fire on your head. I could be throwing a bucket of water over there.
Yeah. Oh,
See, Charlie likes thinking in terms of video and thumbnails for YouTube. Okay, so those are some strategies too as we're looking at this fourth quarter and calendar management, time management. And look, if you're one of those people that's saying, there's not enough hours in the day, and I'm going through my days stressful, not successful, I challenge you. Look at your calendar. Look at whether you are having power over your time or you're letting everything else have the power over yourself for your time, and make one change and see how that goes. If it doesn't work, try a different thing to change. And I'm telling you, if you can make a rule like a no meeting afternoon, or like I'm able to do a no meeting day to have creative space in my head and stuff, try it. It could be life changing. And let us know if it changes your life or if it screws everything up. I'm just kidding. This is one of those things, you take a step in the direction of success. It's good to chat with you again, Charlie. I'm liking
You
the sweater
too.
that you got on too. It's sweater weather.
It is.
All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week.